Welcome and welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. First of all, apologies. Friday's meant to be the preview for the FA Cup semi-final versus Brighton. But to be perfectly honest, I'm still on the floor after that limp performance from Manchester United against Sevilla. Thought we'd just do a brief overview on what went wrong against Sevilla, just to get you all involved with your opinions as well. I know you've listened to Erik Ten Hag's press conference. At the moment, I'm still on the floor. I've not listened to anything after that game. But let me know your first thoughts on Erik Ten Hag and what he said after it.
Well, in a way, I'm optimistic because Ten Hag's comments were quite clear. What he's seen, we seen. No desire. It was a poor performance. It was unacceptable. A manager coming out with that tells you he's on the button. He can see what's going on. So in a way, I'm happy going forward because the manager can see what's out there. You can see he knows what to do going forward. That's the only light I can see from that performance because I am on the floor, and in the summer, Ten Hag clearly knows what he's got to do, and a lot of them players he's going to ship out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. If the captain of the ship, he's seeing things what are going wrong, and you've clearly got confidence in him in the summer to make the changes what are necessary and shipping players out, getting players in. I suppose it's not a bad thing, and I suppose in a way we might have to put our feet back on the ground a little bit. At the start of this season, you're looking at them first two results. We all knew what sort of a task this was. It was always going to be a massive task for any manager to come in and try and change it around in one season. We've already got a trophy in the bag. We're looking good at the moment for top four. It is a big kick in the teeth going out of the Europa League, but we're still in a semi-final, which we will probably do tomorrow. We're a bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
But, you're looking at some of them performances still against Sevilla. A few of them players will be playing in that semi-final. And what's your thoughts? Is there any changes that you possibly could make for that?
Listen, there's lots of changes you'd make, but to be honest with you, them players didn't look like Manchester United players playing in a European tie. The quality is just not good enough in depth. It's not good enough. It's as simple as that. And it clearly shown against Seville. Same mistakes. When United play bad, they play bad. It just seems as though they all do it collectively. And the same mistakes were over and over again. But I don't know how he's going to change it with what we've got. We've got the injuries, we've got suspensions. Bruno's coming back into the game. Will he make a difference? To be honest with you, I'm not too sure. I don't know what's going on. And has Ten Hag and has the team got time to sort it out? I mean,
the problem I've got, sorry to interrupt you, the problem I have with it is, you mentioned Ten Hag saying a lack of desire. Now, we all know there's been a drop-off in quality in the squad. We know the squad depth. We know what it's like. But there's no excuses not to put in a performance and trap back and hunt the players down that, you're coming up against. And that's what we've seen against Sevilla. And, this is a European competition. Another trophy that Manchester United, as fans, we all wanted to win.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses there from the players, but it's a big, big worry then going into Sunday, isn't it?
It is a big worry. And the time to change it and work on it isn't there. I don't know if they've come back and they're back today, but where's the training? Where's the chat? There'll be a few harsh words being said. I don't think Ten Hag's got time for it. Brighton are actually favourites to beat Man United with the bookies. The favourites to beat Man United.
Was not having Bruno Fernandes in that side, and you looked at that performance against Sevilla. It just shows you what he brings to the team, Bruno, in terms of his work rate, his energy, and also his leadership. When I was watching that game, watching players not really digging each other out, not really going round giving him the curly finger, pointing at him, or giving him a lift, which Bruno does do. And I know he gets a lot of criticism for throwing his arms about and this and the other, but it's his way in showing that he cares about Manchester United and he wants to win. And I never seen that from any of the players, which I was shocked about with the likes of Casemiro. Eriksen, Sabitza's been around the block as well at Bayern Munich, 29 years old international. They weren't even putting it together, communicating.
You mentioned Casemiro as a leader and you were shocked by it. I read a comment there and it was apt. It looked like Casemiro was running in wet cement. That's how it looked. He just looked tired and bereft of any ideas of what to do. But going on to the Bruno there, I don't think Bruno would have made any difference to that team last night. I think he would have been going absolutely mental, waving his arms about and everything. Yeah. Because if he'd have been on the pitch and he looked round at them players and the desire The desire was not there. He would have just exploded and just run round like an headless chicken, because that's happened before. We've had performances like that when people don't.
Do you think then, sorry,
just don't do it?
do you think then the mistakes and what was going on at the back with the back four in particular as well, David De Gea, you know, that lack of confidence from the midfield and the forward line in trusting the defenders and the keeper just sort of filtered through the team, and they just went in with themselves instead of, you know, psychologically as a team, as one, thinking, right, let's go and put this right, let's go and out and attack, let's get together kind of thing.
I think what it is, there's certain players in the team what look around and go, who are these players? They look at the quality, they look at the ability, and they think these aren't good enough. And it actually kills them. It kills their confidence. Anthony, he put the effort in, he run around, and he actually gave a little bit of a bad look when Weghorst was brought on. I think there's players there not trusting other players to do the job. And it's shown. And it has shown a few times this year. So a poor performance. I'm just looking at Ten Hag with a bit of confidence that he has come out as a proper manager and called it as it is. And then the summer comes, and then we can all just wait and see what happens. And obviously we've got to wait and see what happens with who's buying the club and what goes on. That is a big thing for Ten Hag in the way and the direction he's going to go.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's always good when the captain of the ship clearly sees what's needed in the team, what's not needed, who's needed, who's not needed, all that kind of thing. And I'm sure big decisions and big calls will be made in the summer. And a lot of these players, you know, you mentioned Anthony there on the right-hand side, puts the work rate in, tracks back. It's a stark contrast when you look over on that left-hand side for me with Jadon Sancho, who have wanted to work out for so badly for the kid. But, you know, in recent weeks, he's putting in these limp performances, not tracking back, not putting the tackles in, not really wanting to go and take the man on, taking the easy ball, either sideways or backwards. And, you know, he was rightly hooked off at half-time. And, you know, we had a discussion, I think, late last night about his time at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. He obviously left for Borussia Dortmund. Now, people out there will say, well, Jadon Sancho wanted to go. Well, Pep Guardiola, let's have it right, is one of the best managers in the world. And he has been for a number of years. If he thought Jadon Sancho had the quality to become a top player, he and Manchester City would have done all they can to keep that player. And they never did. Now, to me, that could be a warning sign of maybe Sancho's never going to be this great player we all thought he would be. Maybe he'll become a good player, but not that great player or world-class player we thought we was getting from Borussia Dortmund.
Well, we've clearly not got that great player or a good player. It's not, to me, it's not even good.
On the flip side, though, as well, you do have players like you know yourself, who, you know, they do have different stages of the careers where, you know, with the development, some are late bloomers than others. You know, some might develop, you know, like Garnacho at an early stage because he's got his talent. Maybe Sancho might develop more into at that age of 25, 26. But at Manchester United, we need players who can perform now, surely.
People out there will look at that, what you said about Sancho, right, and look at it as an excuse. No, just not good enough. Like many of the squad, not good enough. And all I can say here now, because like I'm ill, I can't talk about the Brighton game, but I'm just looking, and I'll repeat it, them players did not look like Manchester United players in a European tie, and Ten Hag seen that. He has the desire, Ten Hag, to win, and them players and that squad didn't have it against Seville. I just hope that they pick up, but I can't see it. Not with that squad depth and the injuries and the suspensions.
What did you think of David De Gea, though? You know, especially with that first goal with Maguire. Are you on that side where you're thinking to yourself, he shouldn't have passed it out to Maguire in that position, or he should have just booted it up? What's your thoughts on it? Because obviously the third goal, what he was doing, thinking he was like Ronaldinho, where he can just bring it out the sky.
The third goal told you what the first goal was all about. He didn't know what to do. He was indecisive. 3 times he changed his mind coming out for that third goal. Right? But it wasn't all just down to him. You look at Joe Hart for Manchester City. When Ten Hag come, he had the decision to make. And City fans, Guardiola, what's name it? He had the decision to make, and he just turned round and he got rid of him. And City fans were going mad, just like many Manchester United fans. But your eyes don't deceive you what's going on. And I'm a big fan of David De Gea, but there is a flaw in the game, and it clearly came out against Seville. So, I'm on the floor, I'm gutted, and you know what, Kieran? I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's get some upbeat talk going.
What, against Brighton?
Yes.
Oh, not in a minute. I don't want to think about that, to be honest.
Okay, I'll wait till
I'll wait
till
tomorrow. You might
then.
see a totally different Kieran on the match preview. Bounces, saying the intro at 100 miles an hour like a.
We need good news.
Well, I don't think there's any good news coming.
There will be. Trust me, there'll be good news out there.
There's no good news coming. At the end of the day, though, you're always going to back your team. As soon as that whistle blows, you're going to back your team. You want to win every game. But right now, it's the injuries, it's the suspensions that are killing us at the moment. And, we're only going to have half a chance to win that game as long as them players on the pitch, like Erik ten Hag says, actually show some desire to want to win that game. If we drop off to even 10%, it's Brighton's semi-final and they'll be in the final.
Listen,
but tomorrow, on Saturday,
join
us.
Don't we?
Well, we always try and move on, but listen, if you join us Saturday, we will be up for it. We will be positive. If you are down now, hopefully on Saturday's video for the preview, the Manchester United versus Brighton game, we can lift you up. But today I just thought I'd do you a bit of an overview, just a bit of a chat. I know it didn't really go anywhere on today's video in certain points, a bit back and forward, but we just needed to get everything out in what was in our heads, really.
We needed to speak.
Yeah, and just get yous involved because, let's have it right, it was a limp performance and a horror show for Manchester United. But any ideas, any thoughts and opinions on that game, get it in the comments below. Anything you want to say going forwards to the Manchester United versus Brighton game, get it in the comments, and we will be back Saturday. And I promise we will be upbeat at least 10 or 20%. I'm only lying. We'll be right up for it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.